Guys, this booth right here, they backed up with people. Let's see what they have.
Yes.
What you think, man? We got it looking good? Cheesesteak, Polish sausages, Italian sausages.
Yeah, so check them out.
Hello.
They got them smelling good in there.
We are on the Intercoastal Waterway right here, so a lot of boats traveling the Intercoastal Waterway, they'll come through this area.
To our left here, you can see the Beaufort Memorial Woods Bridge, and I do see the arm going down there, so it looks like the bridge is about to open.
One of the only few that's left that's still in working condition.
Guys, you do hear me stammering and stuttering while I'm talking to you. We are not scripted. This is not Hollywood. I'm just talking to you while I'm looking around and enjoying my day as well. 29th annual Gullah Festival. If you're ever here at the Waterfront, there is public restrooms. It's always a good idea to walk through a festival and see and smell everything before you decide what you want, so that way you know you pick out what you are going to enjoy the most.
Parking stations set up for you to pay park.
So you can do it by app, or there are machines where you can pay by card. They offer the horse-drawn carriage tours here in Beaufort that tour all around, and they are really fun at Halloween. They tell you all.
Some of these houses, they've been converted to be like bed and breakfasts and stuff like that for tourists that's coming to this area, but they're just beautiful. Seemed like in the old days people had a lot of money or something, because those houses were just built huge. Welcome to historic Beaufort. You guys ain't gonna believe this.
That one's closed. Bubba's from Bluffton. Snatched. Let's see. That one says PGJ's Kitchen, fried lobster.
So we taking you guys on a walk through the Gullah Festival in Beaufort, South Carolina.
Memorial Day weekend 2025. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Oliver.
That's okay. That's all right.
Veteran-owned business here. Mother's Smoking Good. Got some souvenirs, and crafts. This is the last day of it, I believe.
Lobster bites, sheet crab soup, garlic shrimp parmesan. That sounds pretty good.
Gullah rice. We got cheesesteak here.
How about those carvings? They were cool. Did you see those wood carvings?
No, I was about to walk over there just a moment ago. I do see these. These are pretty cool.
Look at the horse. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
You gave me a vendor.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Went home and changed clothes. Come with me.
Vendors back this way. It is kind of rainy, nasty today. You see a lot of the tents are closed up. We are on Sunday, which is the last day of the festival. We didn't make it here before today, so we are kind of catching the tail end of it. But there are still a few people mingling around.
Guys, this booth right here, they backed up with people. Let's see what they have here.
Yeah, a Taste of International. Let's see. Right here.
Oh man, look at that.
Got a big menu too. And man, look at all that food. Yeah, they do.
Looking good.
Yes.
What you think, man? We got it looking good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got another here, the Sassy Sweets. We've had some Sassy Sweets before at some of the other events as well. So right here we are at the Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Parkway. And there is a big marina there in the background. You can see all the sailboat masts and all behind the tents.
Yeah, before we walk on down through here to see what else is here, just let's walk out here and take a look at the marinas and the boats that are docked here.
All right, yeah, and maybe as the sun's starting to come out a little bit, the rain's supposed to be kind of going away, so maybe some of the vendors will be opening up more too as we're walking around. And you can see they do have a row of vendors here in the front, on the front side of the marina, down the middle here, and across the street area of the parking lot.
Cheesesteak, Polish sausages, Italian sausages.
Yeah, so check them out.
Hello.
They got them smelling good in there. So you can see some of the large, huge anchors that would have been on some of the big ships a long time ago here at the waterfront.
Alright, well, let's sit down.
So you guys ain't seeing a lot of people here right now, and you can kind of see in the background of us, it is cloudy here today. We've had a lot of rain come through the area, and we've got a break in the weather, so we decided just to come down here and kind of walk around with you guys and take a look. So normally this area would be a lot more crowded and people may start to come in, but we do have showers coming over.
And the waterfront is a beautiful place just to come and visit here, even if it's not a festival going on, which if you come, there's a huge chance that there's festivals going on. We usually have something down here once every other month or two.
And these are some of the docks and stuff like that that's available for rent through the marina here. And over to our right side, far off in the distance, there's also mooring buoys. And they do have a fuel dock out here at the end of this docking system, because we are on the intercoastal waterway right here. So a lot of boats traveling the intercoastal waterway, they'll come through this area, and this is one of the stops that they can come out and refuel.
And from this area, as they said, you can see we are on the intercoastal waterway. So to our left here, you can see the Beaufort Memorial Woods Bridge, and I do see the arm going down there. So it looks like the bridge is about to open and the boat come through. This is a turnstile bridge. These big, tall boats like these in this marina here with these masts, they can't go under the bridge, so it opens and turns and they go through it. Whereas off in the distance here, way off back there, let me see if I can get zoomed in on it, you can see the McTier Bridge off in the distance, and that goes across on this side of the river. So this river kind of makes an L shape right here.
This style bridge right here that she's showing you guys off in the distance, it is one of the only few that's left that's still in working condition along the East Coast. And when this backs up, you can imagine, especially on holiday weekends, how quickly that traffic can get backed up, because there's times when this bridge does get a signal and starts to make its turn, and by the time the process is through, a good 10 or 15 minutes can go by.
Yep.
So we'll take a glimpse back at it as we move around and going around and show you some more of the vendors, since we're right here beside them now.
All right, and usually even on a good moment it takes about 5 minutes, and I was going to show you some of the traffic backed up way back there already down the road. So you can imagine this kind of a bane of existence to some of the locals here, although it is gorgeous to see. So we've got some naked mannequins. Some of the vendors are closing up shop, I guess, probably. So maybe they won't be actually opening up. They'll probably be wrapping it up. See, if you come here when they're having the Gullah Festival, there are lots of different artifacts. Not artifacts, that's not really the right word. Souvenirs. Just Cersei's.
Whatever the vendors choose to bring out here to sell.
That's right.
Look at that there with the elephant.
That's right. The Gullah Festival is all about, the celebration and, the
I like
accomplishments that the African American population has achieved. So that is a lot of why you see some of the more African American jewelry, colors, and things, just because that is what they are celebrating, or we are celebrating. Lots and lots of pretty stuff. So we know we all love jewelry.
I can hear some thunder rumbling in the distance.
So I should have cut back across there maybe.
Right on down through here, around the front way. Maybe the bridge will open as we're walking around.
Yeah, because they're still in the process over there. I see it's almost in complete open position. And of course, guys, you do hear me stammering and stuttering while I'm talking to you. We are not scripted. This is not Hollywood. I'm just talking to you while I'm looking around and enjoying my day as well. So you just have to forgive that. Got another vendor here. Got some pretty jewelry. And you can see some of these carvings. Gorgeous. See the different
And look
boats
off
still.
in the distance this way.
Oh, I see the rain coming
There's
across
some
the
rain
water.
already over in the distance, so
Yeah.
you don't have to be on the lookout.
Yeah, on the move, looks like.
Hey, how y'all? Some of the smaller boats that's docked here, they do offer different docking for the length of the boats.
That's right. You can see where more of the vendors were set up.
So even if someone, just say you didn't have land or something in this area, there's other options that you could have a place to come to for a vacation spot or something. Maybe have a boat out here to come to on the weekends or whatever.
All right, and it looks like up here at the pavilion they're having some music, so of course we're not going to get too close to that. And it looks like we've seen about all there is to see of this today, and the rain is starting to get a little bit heavier. You want trying to let them see the bridge?
Take a look at this bridge and
All
look
right.
at this seawall as we go by. You can see it's lined in those oysters, very common here, which are very, very important for our ecosystem. Those oysters, they're what helps filter most of the water in this area. They can do like 50 gallons per day of water filtered. So it's very important.
And it looks like we have missed it. It was already it's already closing back now.
But the time it took us to walk over here, you can understand the length of time that the cars have been, just sitting there waiting to go through this traffic. And that's why the other bridge off in the distance, the McTier Bridge, was built. And even before this bridge was built, these other barrier islands here in South Carolina, they became accessible by barges first. The bridges are added in later.
All right. And we do see I do see the sailboat that came through. You may have noticed it earlier when we were talking. It's back there behind those ships going on through back there. And the traffic is still not let loose yet. They are still holding them. I have not heard the bell for the...
You can see that they got the police officers and stuff. They're out here observing things, walking around. It's a shame that it rained today.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of the vendors were, looking forward to more people being here.
That's right. Yeah, it kind of ruined their last day. Thankfully, it was really nice weather Friday and Saturday, so hopefully they had big crowds then.
Look at some of the foliage in this area, the flowers and stuff.
And I think I read that this was the 29th annual Gullah Festival here in Beaufort, South Carolina at the Waterfront. You do see beautiful, beautiful foliage here. The rain's making it quite messy. They have plenty of water, along with it dropping out of the sky. Grub at Tony's. Yep, public restrooms right through this little building right here. If you're ever here at the Waterfront, there is public restrooms and there are showers and things like that here as well. A little puppy.
Make sure your pets are on the leash.
That's right. And of course, when you bring animals out in public, into public places, make sure they are allowed as well.
They still backed up right here.
Yeah. You can see they must have good food. It smells good. They got a line. That's always a good sign. They got a line here too. That's a good sign too. It's always a good idea to walk through a festival and see and smell everything before you decide what you want, so that way you know you pick out what you are going to enjoy the most, or a little bit of everything. Oh, I hate that it's raining today. Guess we getting what we need though.
So there is a good amount of parking here. And you got the downtown parking area also. It's along the street here. And it is a paid parking area. They have the little parking stations set up for you to pay park. You can see some of the signs.
That's right. So you can do it by app, or there are machines where you can pay by card.
Some of the parking spots that they offer here is mainly for boats with trailers, because right here also they offer a boat ramp.
And if you come here on a random day that is not festival oriented, you're going to see, usually right in this area, you see the red steps here, and may have been wondering what they're for. The blue ones over here where this gentleman's parked. But you'll see right here, there'll be a horse-drawn carriage usually right here, and this is their water vessel. But they offer the horse-drawn carriage tours here in Beaufort that tour all around, and they are really fun at Halloween. They tell you all.
Right here.
Yep. They tell you all the different ghost stories about, Beaufort. If you've ever heard of Savannah, Beaufort is just as old as Savannah is, and we have all the same kind of ghost stories and all that type of stuff. So it's really cool to take a horse-drawn carriage ride around town and let them tell you about some of the history.
And look here. You got to admire some of the beautiful houses that have been built along this area over the years. Some of these houses, they've been converted to be like bed and breakfasts and stuff like that for tourists that's coming to this area. But they're just beautiful.
Yep.
Huge houses. Seemed like in the old days people had a lot of money or something, because those houses were just built huge, right?
But they are gorgeous here, lining the marshway along the waterfront. And if you want to be, more out along the marsh, there's a lot of houses over on this side. And for those who want to be more in the hustle and bustle, there's some hotels and all right here around the center of town as well. Actually, that's one right here behind us.
Like, guys, lady, like this sign right here showing, welcome to historic Beaufort. A lot of people don't know, but I've come to understand and the knowledge to share with you guys that the first colony of people in the U.S. that wasn't here before the Indians or others like that was right here in Beaufort County. I'm thinking that it's even possible that the military base now that is here was actually where the colony of people were. So that is the Marine base here in Beaufort.
That's right, Paris Island, South Carolina.
And
I'll
tell you what's cool, but you know, and when you live around this area in Paris, and the soldiers and stuff, they're training out there, and they're firing these guns off in the area. Sometimes on a day like this, you know, you may think you're hearing a roar of thunder, and it could easily be them over there training. So it's hard to distinct the two sometimes. And you can see this is one of the boat ramps right here. Always, if you come to a boat ramp like this right here, be very careful when you're launching your boat and stuff, because you can see with our sediment here in the waters and stuff, it's almost impossible to keep these boat landings from becoming like slippery. So always be on the lookout for that.
That's right.
And you know, shoes too, because look at the oysters and stuff that are here.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to show you. And all that mud that's covering up those oysters does not mean they are not still sharp. They will cut you like razor blades.
Right. And these oysters are another thing about them. You know, they can spread from hard surface to hard surface easily.
That's right.
They release sperm into the water, and then it attaches to any hard surface, almost anything, rocks, pilings. So like if you had a dock or something in this area, you definitely don't want to be throwing old shells or stuff like that, even if you've like eaten oysters and you throwing them off your dock. If you don't want oysters growing there, don't do that, because they will attach back to those hard surfaces and become oyster beds again eventually.
That's right. And that's why here in this area, if you go to any of the recycling centers or around, you'll actually, there are beds of oyster shells where people bring their oyster shells back to recycle, because they deposit those oyster shells back out into places around the marsh or out into the water, and to help rebuild oyster beds, and that's just part of their conservation efforts. You'll see that around most of the coastal places that you go in the low country. You'll see those.
Yeah, and talking about, you know, throughout history, you know, oysters and stuff, they were used for a lot of different things. I mean, the shells and stuff, you know, like in the concrete mix that they used years ago.
That's right.
Called tabby, right?
That's right, and they still do that in some places.
You can see it in the layers of the main part of this structure here. Now that top up there is just solid concrete where the chains are, but that layer right there between where the oysters and that extra layer was added, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably for safety and things like that. But you can see these oysters that are growing right there. They do get knocked off, and then they'll just grow back.
And it's great, you know, the warmth and stuff. You know, not only does it bring us guys back out, because you know, guys, we can get a little lazy over the winter. You know how it is.
Yep.
It also brings, the warm weather brings all the life back to the area. The bait.
Yeah, it brings it back closer into shore, and you can see the nature moving around more.
Yeah, and these groups of minnows right here, they can be mud minnows, they can be little finger mullet. There's a lot of different species of these little schools of fish that swim up and down these coastal waters.
That's right, and you can see a little better view now since we're on this side of the park. You know, the marina is here. We were up on this waterfront boardwalk there a little bit ago, and we were showing across the top of the sailboats to this mooring area over here for the other sailboats. You know, these are more for people who probably aren't gonna come and stay for long time frames, or they just don't want to pay the same fees that you get here, because of course here you would have access to electric and water and that sort of thing, and of course land access, easy access. Whereas here on these mooring buoys, even though you do still pay a fee to moor your boat here for, it's probably like a monthly fee, or you probably can pay overnight or whatever. But you do not, of course, have any kind of electricity or water or land access from here. Of course, you take your dinghy back and forth, and they have spots.
And
you can
that's
see
one
here
reason why this
where the dinghies
floater
are
is
parked.
here, and that is why, the mooring buoys are positioned where they are, I'm sure. And right out here beyond the mooring buoys and stuff, you can see off in the distance a little bit that sandbar out there we're trying to show you guys.
Let me let it focus. Let me find them.
That sandbar out there, I'm sure that yesterday there would have been hundreds of boats. This is one of the main sandbars where people come to this area to hang out, enjoy a day out on the water, hang out with others, just pull up to the sandbars and get out, talk with each other, have a good time. I don't never see a lot of anything going on that would be harmful or anything by doing that. Everybody cleans up their trash, and if somebody does miss something, we all are good enough to go in behind each other, because we know everybody makes mistakes too, right?
That's right.
We don't put stuff off on each other. We help each other, and that's what this area is all about. You talking about Southern hospitality, that's right here. That's here in Beaufort, South Carolina. The saying of Southern hospitality is true. It is true. We are that type of people.
And I couldn't get zoomed in on it really well, but I do see 2 boats across there right now. But like I said, they're braving the weather, because you seen it was just drizzling on us. It's kind of quit again right this second, but it was raining really hard this morning, and it's supposed to be starting to let up now. So these people that are over there are trying to enjoy a little bit of their Memorial Day weekend.
So we're a little bit further out from here. We're about 8 or 10 more miles there that we usually share our videos with the guys and ladies out there watching our videos. And yesterday, that was when, if you keeping up, that I shared a video of us actually just a boat ride down the sandbar in our area to show the amount of boats that were out there on our sandbar. Today we've just ventured out to share another little video with you guys. Our videos are not scripted, just like Stephanie's already told you. The things you see are just real life things that we're out doing, trying to enjoy our own lives, and we hope and pray that you guys are doing the same. Life is short, right?
That's right.
So get out and enjoy yourselves. If you ain't trying to help put a smile on someone else's face, then you got something wrong with you. It ain't us. We're trying.
That's right. Y'all have a good day. See y'all.
You guys ain't gonna believe this. Got back and realized I had locked the keys in the truck. What's up to Steph? Go ahead, Steph. At least the window was down a little bit and we could push it down.
Yeah.
So, man gotta do what a man gotta do, woman gotta do what a woman gotta do, I guess. You the hero today, Steph.
Come on, I got you.
You might need to come back to the back so we can push this window back up. Now I know what they meant. She told me to get these keys when we was getting out.
I did told him